Absolutely electric. That's the only way to describe the buzz right now surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles heading into their preseason opener against the Cincinnati Bengals. And let's be honest, it doesn't even feel like a typical preseason matchup because this Thursday night at Lincoln Financial Field, Eagles fans aren't just watching a game. They're witnessing the return of the defending Super Bowl champions. First time back in front of the home crowd since they brought that Lombardi trophy back to Philly. And yeah, the building's going to be rocking. Maybe not sold out to the rafters like a playoff game, but we're talking 67 to 70,000 fans packed in, standing room filled, flags waving, and the volume cranked up to 11. But here's where it gets even more interesting and exciting. For Eagles fans, the Cincinnati Bengals are bringing the heat. Bengals head coach Zac Taylor made it clear earlier this week that his starters are going to play. Not just start the game and get pulled after one drive, but play multiple series. Joe Burrow under center, Jamar Chase on the outside, T. Higgins running those crisp routes. The Bengals offense, arguably one of the most explosive units in the league when healthy, is coming out swinging in a preseason game, and that changes everything. This isn't just another August scrimmage to shake the rust off. This is a statement. It's a test. It's a measuring stick for Vic Fangio's new-look Eagles defense. And it might just be the most high-leverage preseason matchup we've seen in a long time. Because Zac Taylor has something to prove. The Bengals have struggled out of the gate in each of the last few seasons. Since Taylor took over in 2019, Cincinnati is a brutal 1-win, 11 losses in weeks 1 and 2 combined. That's not a slow start. That's a problem. A systemic one. And Taylor knows it. In 2023, they stumbled to a 1-3 start. In 2022, they were 2-2. Even in that magical Super Bowl run back in 2021, they were 3-1 in September, but it took a ton of effort to get there. So now, heading into a stacked AFC North, with pressure mounting and playoff expectations sky high, the Bengals are changing their approach. They're going full throttle from the jump, and that begins Thursday night in Philadelphia. Meanwhile, we're still waiting to hear if Nick Sirianni is going to send his starters out there to match the intensity. If we go by recent history, the odds aren't great. Sirianni has been very conservative when it comes to preseason reps for his top guys, especially on offense. Since taking the reins in 2021, he's treated August like a laboratory, experimenting, testing depth, avoiding injuries at all costs. But this might be the year that changes, at least on defense. Because Vic Fangio, he plays his dudes. Last year, even the final preseason game, we saw veterans like Bryce Huff logging serious minutes. Fangio wanted to get a real look at his personnel in real situations. And with the Bengals rolling out their ones, you better believe he's tempted to counter with his own. And let's be clear, this is the kind of test you want if you're Fangio. Brand new system, new personnel, young talent mixed with savvy vets. What better way to see if your scheme holds up than going toe-to-toe with Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and a Bengals offense that has shredded some of the league's best defenses in recent years? The timing couldn't be better. Because let's talk about this Eagles defense for a second. There are battles everywhere. Roster spots on the line. Starting jobs up for grabs. Let's start with the cornerback position opposite Quinyon Mitchell. If the starters do play, that CB2 role becomes crucial. Khalil Ringo is in the mix. So is Adoree Jackson, who the Eagles just acquired from the Raiders in a move that caught everyone off guard. It's a legit competition. Both guys have the tools. Ringo is young, rangy, hungry. Jackson brings experience, instincts, and the ability to match up against elite route runners. Facing the Bengals receivers? That's trial by fire. Exactly what Fangio needs to see. Then you've got the edge rusher rotation. Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt are locked in as the top two. No question there. But beyond that, it's wide open. Josh Uche and Azeez Ojulari are battling for meaningful snaps. And don't sleep on Antoine Powell-Ryland either. He's been flashing in camp and could absolutely carve out a role in this defense. With Thomas Booker now out of the picture after the Eagles traded him away, the door is open for guys like Gabe Hall to make a name for themselves. The coaching staff clearly believes in him. He's been disruptive, powerful at the point of attack. If he can hold his own against Cincinnati's starting O-line, he might just solidify his spot. Linebacker is another spot to watch. Zach Bond is locked into a starting job, but he won't play in this one due to a back contusion. That opens the door wide for someone else to step up. All eyes will be on Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Jihad Campbell. And let me tell you, the buzz around Campbell right now is real. He's raw, sure, but he's a freak athlete, explosive, aggressive, and if you ask anyone in that locker room, they'll tell you he's learning fast. Saquon Barkley even went on record comparing him to Micah Parsons. Yeah, that Micah Parsons. According to Saquon, Campbell's a little too aggressive right now. Still needs to learn when to ease up in practice and not light up the quarterbacks in red jerseys. But the coaches would much rather dial a guy back than have to light a fire under him. That's the kind of energy Campbell brings. And Thursday night could be his coming out party. And how about the safety competition? That's another storyline that could steal the spotlight. Cooper DeJean has been everywhere in camp. At safety, in the slot, making plays all over the field. Vic Fangio loves guys like that. Smart, instinctive, versatile. You can see him already envisioning packages where DeJean roams as a ball hawk or comes down to handle tough matchups in man. If he gets extended run against Cincinnati starters, don't be shocked if he makes a couple plays that turn heads. Now, we have to mention Quinyon Mitchell again, because this matchup is tailor-made for him. Last season, when he faced Jamar Chase, Mitchell held his own. That's not easy to do. Chase is a nightmare to cover. Size, speed, quickness, elite hands. But Mitchell didn't flinch. And now, with a full offseason under his belt, he's even better. More confident. Stronger. He'll likely draw Chase again. And this is the kind of test that could either validate the hype or show he's still got work to do. Either way, it's a must-watch matchup. And while the Bengals missed the playoffs last season, don't let that fool you. Joe Burrow was phenomenal. His 2024 stats were insane. Over 4,900 yards, 43 touchdowns, just 9 picks. 70.6 completion percentage. 7.5 yards per attempt. That's MVP caliber stuff. The problem? Cincinnati started slow. Lost some close games. Couldn't quite recover in time to make a real push. But the talent? It's there. And they're coming to Philly with something to prove. That's why this game matters. Even if it's just the preseason. The Eagles' defense has a golden opportunity to make a statement. To show they're not just talented on paper, but ready to compete against the best. Because you don't face an offense like Cincinnati's every week. Not in August. Not when most teams are playing it safe. This is a litmus test, and everyone inside that building knows it. And for the fans lucky enough to be at the Link on Thursday night, it's almost surreal. Preseason tickets have been selling for regular season prices, and now it makes sense why. You're not just watching cam bodies. You're getting Burrow, Chase, Higgins, maybe even Mixon. You're getting a live look at the 2025 Eagles defense under Vic Fangio for the very first time. You're seeing rookies battle for roles. Veterans fine-tune their game. Real football, real energy. And if the Eagles do trot out some of their starters, that stadium is going to explode. So now the question becomes, how will Philly respond? Will Sirianni match Taylor's aggression and give his guys a chance to shake the rust off against elite competition? Will the defense embrace the challenge and rise to the moment? Can the rookies flash? Can a new scheme hold up? And who's going to step up and take control of these position battles? And as we look deeper into this Eagles roster, the intensity around these training camp battles isn't just about roster depth. It's about identity. Under Vic Fangio, this defense is being built with precision, calculated aggression, and a demand for mental sharpness. You don't survive in Fangio's system unless you're locked in. This is not your traditional plug-and-play defense. It requires anticipation, communication, and trust. That's why this first preseason game matters so much. It's a live-fire exercise against one of the best defensive units in football, and the Eagles staff will learn more in those first 2 or 3 Bengals possessions than they might in weeks of joint practices. There's a sense around the building that this defense could be special. Not just good, special. But special doesn't come from reputation. It comes from reps, from chemistry, from real adversity on the field. Facing a quarterback like Joe Burrow, who processes faster than almost anyone in the league, forces your linebackers to think fast, your corners to stay disciplined, and your safeties to recognize routes a split second before the throw is made. If Fangio is going to identify who can handle that kind of pressure, Thursday night is the ideal proving ground. And that brings us right back to Jihad Campbell. His potential is drawing comparisons that are not thrown around lightly. When someone like Saquon Barkley starts talking about a rookie in the same breath as Micah Parsons, people listen. Campbell has all the physical traits: speed, burst, power range. But what's really intriguing is how quickly he's absorbing the system. He's asking questions, studying tendencies, breaking down plays after practice. This isn't just a freak athlete hoping to survive on instincts. He's attacking the mental side of the game with the same aggression he brings to the field. And his background makes him incredibly versatile. Recruited to Alabama as a pass rusher, he later transitioned to an off-ball linebacker role after injuries decimated the Tide's depth. That versatility is now a weapon for Fangio. Imagine a player who can line up on the edge in 3rd and long, then drop into coverage and mirror a tight end on the next snap. That's what Campbell brings. The Eagles are clearly excited about him. And it's not just hype. Campbell has already left his mark in practice. Just ask Ben Van Sumeren. The fullback tried to take him on as a lead blocker and got absolutely blown up. That collision was loud enough to turn heads all over the field, and Van Sumeren ended up missing time afterward. Plays like that don't go unnoticed. It's not just about big hits. In a recent practice, Barkley tried to bounce a run outside, something he's made a career out of, and Campbell tracked him down from behind. That's not normal. That's elite athleticism. That's closing speed you can't teach. And for a young linebacker in a complex scheme like Fangio's, that kind of raw ability gives you a longer leash while you're still learning the nuances of NFL defense. But this preseason game isn't just about evaluating rookies. It's about building chemistry across the board. Think about the cornerback group. We already know what Quinyon Mitchell brings to the table, but chemistry with safeties, timing on passing off routes in zone, adjustments on the fly, that all takes game speed reps. Adoree Jackson's a rival adds experience, but he's also new to this system, and communication in Fangio's covered shells is critical. One misread, one mistimed signal, and a guy like Ja'Marr Chase can burn you for 6 before you even realize what went wrong. That's why every snap these guys get together in live action is gold. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Joe Buck, a prominent and often polarizing figure in the world of sports broadcasting, has reportedly sparked a wave of controversy and speculation with his recent comments about the Philadelphia Eagles. According to insider murmurs and social media buzz, Buck did not hold back in his critique of the Eagles' performance and organizational choices, igniting a fresh debate among fans, analysts, and players alike. Sources close to the matter suggest that Buck's remarks went beyond routine commentary, hinting at deeper frustrations with the team's strategy and leadership. The timing of his statements is fueling rumors about potential tensions between Buck and members of the Eagles organization or fan base. While some believe this could just be another instance of Buck expressing candid opinions that he's known for, others speculate that these criticisms might stem from a growing dissatisfaction with the franchise's direction or recent on-field struggles. The sports community is abuzz with guesses about what exactly Joe Buck said, with some insiders hinting that his comments might impact how the team is perceived in upcoming broadcasts and media coverage. Fans are divided, some defending Buck's right to critique, while others are questioning his motives or suggesting he might be stirring the pot for ratings. This swirling speculation around Buck's critique of the Eagles adds another layer of intrigue to the already intense NFL season drama. The conversation around Joe Buck's remarks about the Philadelphia Eagles has become a hot topic in various sports circles, with multiple sources trying to piece together the full scope of his critique. It's rumored that Buck's comments included pointed criticisms of the Eagles' coaching decisions and player performances, possibly highlighting a disconnect between expectations and reality within the franchise. Industry insiders speculate that Buck might be hinting at underlying issues in the Eagles' locker room or front office, which could explain the team's inconsistencies on the field. Some believe Buck's sharp observations might be rooted in recent losses or questionable calls made during critical moments of the season. There is also chatter that Buck commentary could be part of a larger narrative he is crafting for the audience, aiming to draw attention to what he perceives as flaws in a team that has been a playoff contender in recent years. Speculative analysis suggests that Buck's position as a respected commentator lends weight to his words, which could pressure the Eagles to address these purported shortcomings. Meanwhile, sports talk shows and online forums are flooded with debates and discussions dissecting Buck's possible motives, ranging from genuine concern for the sport to strategic provocation. This ongoing rumor mill keeps fans and analysts on edge, awaiting a formal response or further clarification. Amidst the speculation, whispers of potential fallout from Joe Buck's critical remarks about the Philadelphia Eagles have begun to surface, with insiders hinting at possible repercussions within the NFL broadcasting and sports media realms. Some speculate that Buck's harsh critique may have ruffled feathers within the Eagles organization, possibly leading to tension between the team's PR staff and the broadcasting networks. Industry rumors suggest that there could be behind-the-scenes negotiations or conversations aiming to mitigate any damage caused by Buck's statements, especially as the Eagles prepare for key upcoming matchups. There is also talk that Buck's comments could influence the tone of future broadcasts involving the Eagles, perhaps prompting a more scrutinizing lens on the team's performance and decisions. This potential shift in media portrayal adds an intriguing dimension to the unfolding story, as it could impact public perception and fan morale. Additionally, some analysts propose that Buck's critique might serve as a catalyst for change within the Eagles' leadership, who may feel compelled to respond publicly or adjust their strategies to quell the growing criticism. The possibility that Buck's remarks are more than just offhand commentary fuels ongoing speculation about the intricate relationship between media figures and professional sports teams. The evolving situation keeps sports fans and insiders alike watching closely for any sign of developments or official statements. The rumors surrounding Joe Buck's negative comments about the Philadelphia Eagles have also sparked speculation about the broader impact on fan sentiment and team dynamics. Social media platforms have exploded with reactions, ranging from passionate defenses of the Eagles to sharp critiques echoing Buck's sentiments. Some insiders speculate that Buck's remarks could deepen divides within the fan base, potentially influencing attendance and engagement at games. There are murmurs that players themselves might be affected by the public critique, possibly motivating them to respond through improved performances or, conversely, causing frustration within the locker room. Analysts suggest that such a public airing of dissatisfaction by a prominent broadcaster might influence the mental and emotional atmosphere surrounding the team, which is crucial during a competitive NFL season. The interplay between media narratives and on-field results is well documented, and Buck's statements add fuel to this dynamic, generating ongoing debates about the role of sports media in shaping team identities. Speculation continues about whether the Eagles' coaching staff will address these issues in press conferences or adjust their approach to counteract any negative media pressure. The ripple effects of Buck's comments underscore the power of high-profile sports voices and the potential consequences when criticism crosses from analysis into perceived disparagement. Finally, the buzzing rumor mill about Joe Buck's critique of the Philadelphia Eagles raises questions about the future trajectory of both the broadcaster and the team. Industry watchers speculate that Buck's remarks could signify a larger narrative arc in the upcoming NFL coverage, possibly setting the stage for heightened scrutiny of the Eagles as they navigate the challenges of the season. Some sources suggest that Buck may have strategically chosen to highlight perceived flaws in a high-profile team to stimulate conversation and viewership, a common tactic in sports media. The Eagles, meanwhile, could be facing a crossroads where media criticism intersects with internal evaluation, possibly prompting changes in personnel or strategy. There is also conjecture that Buck's comments might lead to more confrontational or investigative coverage of the team, with reporters and commentators digging deeper into the franchise's decisions. This speculation feeds into a broader discourse about the balance between objective reporting and the entertainment aspect of sports broadcasting. As the story unfolds, Both Buck and the Eagles find themselves at the center of a narrative that extends beyond wins and losses, touching on the complex relationship between media influence, fan loyalty, and team identity. The ongoing rumors ensure that every game involving the Eagles will be watched not only for athletic performance, but also for how the story evolves in the media spotlight. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.